All right, let's just do one more little thing here, just because we can. So what I'd like to do is add, you can either, this might work if you go to like split maybe? I don't know. Yeah, cool. That does not always work. The alternative is you try to do an insert right here, but it typically, hey, that worked too. Cool. Maybe they've modified this. Bless their hearts. Cool. All right, let's see. What I want to do is add 2 loops like that. And then holding Alt, I can put all this stuff onto its own polygroup, and then I'm going to do an inflate and just kind of push it in. And then we'll do like a crease polygroups all, and then I'm going to go ahead and add another crease there. So, whoops, looks like I hit Shift S. I'm going to hit Control N just to clear my screen. And maybe we'll do one more thing. This is all just like simple, dumb tricks to make a model feel more complicated than it actually is. And who doesn't love simple and dumb? Trying to, there we go, okay. So I'm going to put everything on some polygroup, Control W, isolate that ring, and then we'll just like do an inflate. And then another crease. Just to add a little more something going on. And we can always throw even more interesting stuff in here once we get a little further along this project. It might be worth spending some time thinking about how we want that stuff to happen. And now I'm just looking over here. What I'd really like is for there to be an edge that I can have like an extra kind of crispy thing going around, or just around the circle, kind of like what we were doing up here. So let's do that. I'm going to, I don't want to modify the curvature though, right? So like, remember how I showed you if we do this, we're going to start modifying the curvature for everything. So to make this the least influential or whatever, I'm just going to put an edge right in the middle. It will kind of tighten up some of this stuff, but I don't want to necessarily throw off the curvature too much. Like if you have a lot of curvature, you'll get a flat spot by doing this. And you can always, you know, just come in and do something that's a little bit more interesting. One of the benefits of working with such a low poly piece of geo here is you can kind of do whatever you want with it without it taking up a whole lot of extra effort. So there's that. And now I think, let's just see what happens if I throw a crease on there. So because that's flat, that crease transitions pretty nicely. You don't even really notice it, but we still get the benefit of having this stuff here feeling a little bit more intentional and engineered around this tube. I don't have as much geo as I might like. And then also right now this surface is kind of bending inward, and I want it to go the other direction. I want it to transition into basically like go this way rather than that way. And if that doesn't make sense, just chill for a sec and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to go to move. We're just going to pull these verts up a bit. All 3 or 4 of them. That's cool. And then I'm going to just scoot this stuff back a bit. Well, I'm going to use slide here. I don't really want to modify this stuff. All right. I just needed a smaller brush. And you can see I have whatever it is, 5 points coming together, and there is an issue with how it is subdividing. So you just kind of gotta try to find a position that you can live with. All right, let's go ahead and do our little eye socket thing here. And we'll start with the skinny spot. Go to Edit Topology. I'm not following it perfectly, but just trying to make sure I have a ring that I can work with. It goes all the way around. And to make sure I don't end up in a scenario where I have a spiral, which can make working with the Zmodeler and adding edge loops, whatever, very, very challenging. I'm going to finish one complete loop. Unmask. And it does not need to be that wide. Cool. All right, let's do the next loop here. Feels like I probably need something here. So this is one of the reasons why it's really nice to add one edge loop first, because then you can very simply, you can just make sure you're not doing something crazy. And if that doesn't really make a huge amount of sense, well, you can do it however you want, and if you end up with something that looks less organized and predictable than what I end up with, then maybe spin back around for a rewatch. Because it's definitely a lesson that I learned the hard way over many years of ending up with bad situations. Okay, so what I've got here is probably just need to come over and do something like this. You can see how much volume around the eye I'm losing. So I could just kind of tuck this up right directly to that intersection. And I'm just going to add another ring there. Or a loop, whatever that is. We'll adjust it. And then we've got this stuff back here, so I'll just go ahead and... we don't have to use it if we don't want it. Maybe another ring there. Whoops. So we got a problem there. Let me tap Q and hold Alt. Get rid of it. We can just rebuild that little spot there. All right, so that'll be our eye socket geo. Tap the A key, make polymesh 3D, hop back to our tool. Going to hit A here to go back into the retop. We'll hit delete topo. Hit append. And go ahead and import it. Let's take a look. Okay, so the stuff's messed up once again. We'll do a mirror and weld and a flip. And then from here we'll just do an extrude, or a Q mesh, I mean. Where is it? Q mesh, polygroup all. And a flip. I'm going to crease this edge. Set our crease level to 2 and 3 or 4. You can see we've lost a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to use the move brush just to kind of pull this out from the original. Cool. All right, we'll continue adjusting this new piece of geo in the next video.